Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a children's book gets NFC, the cup gets lit, and the Playhouse gets stretched. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, where we go out and find crowdfunding projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I'm Ktdata, one half of your show. I'm really just here to press buttons. Joining me is a man that I have not talked to until today in 2017, which is a crime.
Wow, I can't believe that.
It is the one and only Drew Tyler. How are you doing today, my friend?
Good. I'm very good. I can't believe that it has been this many days and you have not talked. Wow. I did follow all of your adventures in CES, and I was a little slightly jealous because I have not been there for 2 years now, and I did miss out. I felt like I was missing some exciting fun, but I'm sure I got more rest, more sleep, and it was less cool, but I got more sleep.
I don't know. I missed out. I mean, Blink-182, I think you would have had a blast with Blink-182.
That could have been fun. The shows are always super fun.
Yeah. Because every time I go, sometimes like, man, I miss this person because, we had good times prior.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and unfortunately, this time we weren't in the win. We were back in the circus with the rest of the Asian people.
Got it.
Hey, housing's expensive in Vegas.
You got to take what you can get. So, there were some of my team that would just stay in, what was it, like not even Mesquite, but like 2 or 3 hours out just to save.
Yeah, actually, so I talked to one of my friends who was Vivint down there, so they had like 60 people.
Wow.
Because they had a huge home automation booth, and they rented like 60 different rooms in different hotels, and crazy expensive.
That's unheard of.
Yeah. Anyways,
wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so if this is your first time watching the show, welcome. If this is your first time watching this year, which is all of you, I apologize for our crazy scheduling in the past month or so, but that's always how it works because CES is right after the holidays, and the holidays are crazy in themselves. But we hope you guys will enjoy our CES special, which will be out before this episode. Make sure you guys check that out. It's probably going to be closer to an hour, maybe an hour and a half long, because I lost track of how many crowdfunding specific interviews I actually did. So, hope you guys enjoy. But so before we go into kind of our different projects of the night, Drew, I know about a month ago we did announce that Kickstarter had started live streaming on their campaign pages, right?
Right, which is a really cool way to kind of get to know what somebody's doing, get in there, ask the Q&A. You get a lot of information in a short amount of time. So I've loved it.
So they actually posted a blog post about their experiences in the first month of Kickstarter Live. And they gave a couple tips, and they gave some interesting factoids that you may want to consider if you're going to make a crowdfunding project. And the first one is if you guys ever watch the stream for this show live, Drew and I probably don't do it, but we've kind of gotten this down to an art. And this is an important one, even like in the production world, especially when you're doing live TV, right, Drew? Is the first one is they straight up, from our tests, we quickly learned that Wi-Fi, lighting, and getting your camera to the right angle can take a few minutes adjusting, so they recommend you do a test stream before you actually start.
That is some smart thinking.
Yeah. And what's nice is they actually have tools built in. You can actually do a test stream, and it gives you a private URL that you can share to, whoever your testers are, or you can just load up in your web browser and check prior to doing your actual live event. Trust me, doing a test stream will make your life so much easier sometimes.
For my side job, for my part-time job, I work with some pretty big companies that do a lot of live streaming, and every one of them has a test page that they push. They'll push to test well before they actually do a live stream. So yes, they're testing all the time. It's normal, smart.
Oh, so you're telling me the big guys don't just hit live and call it good?
No.
And, they have that awkward moment where, like you see in some of the videos that people take from your phone, is them putting the phone down or picking it up.
Yep. Nope, these guys just do it right. They go to the test page, they make sure everything's clean and ready, and then they go live to the real page.
Yep. The next point they put out, that this is the reason why I'm around, actually. Drew's really the mainstay of the show, is consider asking a co-host to be in charge of monitoring the chat for questions that come up. Both you and I know it is tough to do a live stream by yourself and keep
Yes.
track of everything that's going on, keeping to kind of your plan that you wanted, what you want to do, and just making sure all of that melds together, right?
It's true. That's true.
And then the other one, this is a cool one that I didn't know was built in because I obviously don't have a project, but Drew, you're an expert at doing this. That you can actually post your Facebook, your live broadcast to Facebook, so people can watch on your Facebook page.
And it makes sense. If you were going to be doing a Q&A about, your product or whatever it is you're showing off, then connect with your audience, find where they are and share it out with them. It makes total sense.
Yeah, and it's great. So, and then you can actually see this picture of kind of a setup stream for one of the crowdfunding creators. Just laptop on a box is fine. A little lighting.
Yeah. Yep.
They got a slightly fancy microphone, but it's not like
the snowball
studio cameras and stuff all the time.
No.
But if so
I think that's one of my favorite things about live streaming, whether you're doing it for your Kickstarter or for any page. I love that behind the scenes it can look like a cluster. Like everything everywhere, wires going in and out of things, and I love that. And yet when it hits the air, like the front side of the camera, everything's clean and pretty, and you can see it. Yep. I love that.
That's why you guys will never see the other side of the studio.
I have seen it once, and oh my gosh, you guys. If you saw the other side of KT's studio, it is, I don't even know how to describe it. Like what you've got in frame, all of this little things that you have in frame, like up front, are all like in the right places. But if you were to shoot and see like your monitor, your screen, your cords, your accessories, it's a beautiful mess. It is a beautiful mess.
And I'm not sure the fire marshal would appreciate it either. And so what another great thing is, and we actually do this when we actually do our live streams, is when you do start your live stream, don't just start jumping straight in. Give people some time to join, because this is the nature of live. Is some people will remember and they'll just be sitting there waiting for you to start. Other people will see your Facebook post, your Twitter post, or something else, or they'll remember like 5 minutes later, or they won't see the link, so they're like trying to refresh the page and stuff. Start off with a little soft intro, like say, hey, how you guys doing? Ask some questions to the chat. Just do a little bit of that before you actually start what you want to do, because that's going to help you in the long run.
Give people a chance to find you, to get in and to get kind of settled and to learn, almost to like teach people, like if they come into your stream or anything that you're doing, that they can show up within that 5-minute window and still feel like they get a full episode or get a full set of information. It's interesting that Facebook has started. They allow you to schedule things and make like almost a waiting room for people to gather in before it goes live. So they make a countdown for you. But just knowing that you take a few minutes to ramp up is very helpful.
Yeah. And then this is the one thing that I think when a lot of new streamers and podcasters and stuff, when they start talking to me and you, they get confused about this next one that I actually didn't even put in the show notes, but you see it on this page right here. It's in bold. Focus on the experience, not the script.
Right.
So like people are shocked when I tell them that you and we actually have show notes. We don't have a script. We have show notes so we can write things down and remember that we want to mention stuff. But I'm not reading this off a script.
No, and we know bullet points, right? So it's that idea of an outline. So we know what order things go in. I know exactly what story you're on, what story you're going to next. It's funny, in the little big cast, I have to write in show notes, not only like we have our outline, but I also have to put like swear markers. This is where somebody dropped a bad word, and so in the edit I can go take it out. But that's what I use show notes for. Like it's a timing thing. I can find out where we're at. One pro tip from a streamer to you guys: don't use Word. Use a spreadsheet. Like it makes a night and day difference to kind of know where you are in order and stuff. And it's just one little change. And because I used to, just do the straight Word document too. And ever since I switched to this, it is so much easier to kind of figure out where you are in the script, where to go, and organize things from episode to episode. So I highly recommend you guys do that. And then this is what the one interesting thing is, that they noticed that most broadcasts, so after you finish streaming stuff, tell people to go watch the replay, because most broadcasts get 40% in additional views from watching the recording. So they recommend that you actually share your recording to other people. 40% is a lot. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense, right? I mean, that again, extra reach. And like I said before, like there's a lot of good content in that whatever video you do, because it is real and people get a kind of an idea of what it is that you're really making and what your passion is for that project, which may not come out in the verbiage. So yeah, to let that longevity happen, let that live on your page for a while. That's definitely something you want to do.
That's definitely kind of some things you want to check out. I mean, you and I have been proponents of live for almost a decade now, so
It's true.
so you should do it. All right. So on to our next news story, and it's kind of more of a quick announcements of what has happened since our past episodes. Indiegogo again has like, and I saw this at CES, is they were all about the partnerships, all about being that crowdfunding place that not only is a platform, but is a place that will help nurture your idea and create it into an actual product that you can use and share with people. And the one way they're doing that, because they previously announced that they were partnering with Arrow Solutions, so they've in December they announced that they partnered with two different two different groups, one specifically for electronics manufacturing, which is Riverwood Solutions. They're an engineering firm. So if you have like an electronic product that you're getting ready to manufacture, which is, I mean, a lot of the gadgets and doodads we see on crowdfunding sites, you can actually apply to work with their art partners, and they do customized solutions too. So it's not like they'll just give you this form and have you follow it. They actually want to see what product you have, and then you can talk to them. They have experience in manufacturing, and they can even do one-on-one support. So say like you've never supply chain is a brand new thing, because that's definitely not something you can usually pick up, right? They have experts you can talk to, and if you have questions about it, they'll be like, all right, I'll tell you about this and that, and give you that little heads up that you may need, that I mean, I know nothing about supply chains, that you may need, or just quality assurance testing and the stuff like that. So you can actually apply to work with them, and then they'll help you kind of customize a good plan for whatever project you're making. And then the
That's
other
very
one,
helpful.
yeah, the other one, this is a great one. You've heard of who Morgan Spurlock is, right?
Oh yes, yes, the Super Size Me guy who's done a lot of documentaries and not reality, miniseries and shows.
So what they also announced a partnership with his Warriors Poets production company. And what they're doing is they're going to be looking for indie or indie documentaries, or I guess most documentaries are indie, right?
A lot of them are, but yeah.
Yeah, that have been funded through Indiegogo, and they want to help produce and create them and distribute them through the channel. So this may be a reason you may want to think of Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter if you want to make a documentary, is because you could potentially have a chance to work with Morgan Spurlock, and he makes pretty good documentaries and stuff. So you have that experience behind you to make your.
That's an interesting, not even fulfillment, but just a resource to have as part of that. That's definitely worth looking into.
And you have that name behind you, so you're going to get more eyes automatically just because of that.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know, how do you feel about these partnerships? And we can kind of see this slight separation where Kickstarter is now like, we want to do good for humanity, a little bit more lighter, and like we want your ideas to flourish, where Indiegogo is more like, we want to make sure whatever you want to do is successful. Like, how do you feel about that divide between the two?
I think they're both going to continue to try to find their own niche to own, so that they can find the different types of creators. But that's a good, healthy competition. I think it's a good thing that they're both kind of finding their way.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited for that. So, all right, one quick thing before we jump into our projects tonight, which is the Kick Shouts. This one is pretty awesome because, one, it's a Utah project. 2, I've met these guys.
Love it.
At Salt Lake Comic Con.
Double love.
And 3, it just hits the right things for my nerdy little heart. So, Drew, I know you were a big Lunar fan, right? You've played a lot of these RPGs and stuff, right?
Yeah. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, it's yeah. Good. And have you seen the new Voltron, or did you watch the old Voltron back in the day?
I watched the old Voltron.
Yeah,
I know the day. Yeah.
So one thing that a lot of these games all have in common is that they were talking about different kind of blades, like the hilt and stuff that are very iconic. You know, Final Fantasy, everybody knows the giant sword that Cloud carries around, right?
Yep. Right.
So
Yep.
what these guys are, they're called the Key Armory, and this is actually their second crowdfunding project. Is they actually make blank keys that are the shapes of different swords, from inspired by your little different kind of other things like this one from
favorite
Xenoblade,
game, right?
yeah, your favorite game and stuff. So they're actually running a crowdfunding project to get some more different blades. That you may want to check out. So check them out on Kickstarter. It's called the Key Armory Part 2, sword-shaped keys for your home. It's brilliant.
Beautiful.
I've talked to them before. They're blanks, so what you do is you take them to Home Depot or whatever and get them cut to whatever you need. And they do fit 98% of the locks out there.
Really? I was going to say, like, I mean, depending on what key you need to have, like if it's just, and there's some that you do on their house and main doors, but some of them have different, like,
there's
front, like not even just niches, right? But these guys are probably doing the home.
Yeah, I asked them about it, and there's like 2 or 3 major key manufacturers, and so if your locks are one of those 3, they'll have a blank that fits it.
Yeah.
So
this is amazing. Like even at this, like, I just saw the pricing, but like 3 keys, you could pick 3 keys of your choice, and it's less than $30. Like that's a key nobody else is going to have. Like this is brilliant.
So if somebody steals it, you definitely know that's your key. I mean, I love it. All right. So if you guys ever have any kick shouts, projects you want us to mention, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net, and we will mention it on the show. All right. So now into our projects of the night. You guys will notice that there's kind of a theme with mine. I don't know why. I am not baby hungry, guys. These ones just pulled the right strings. Because I have no kids. So, but I got to ask you about you, Drew. Your kids, do they love story time?
They do. In fact, they beg for it, and I always turn them down because I'm like, no, you don't deserve a story. But they do. They love stories.
Have they kind of ventured into the world of electronics and technology and Internet of Things? Have they shown interest in that, or are they just talking about boys?
Oh yes,
boys are lame.
No. The boys are lame. They love toys.
So
they love internet-y things. They love internet-y things for sure.
Yep. Because boys are lame. Remember that. All the dads in the world, I think, relate to that. Okay, yes. So yes. Our first project tonight is actually a children's book. Which is great. So it's called.
This is surprising from you, KT. Yeah, this is interesting.
I don't know why. It just it caught my eye. It's called The Internet of Mysterious Things, IOMT. So we know what the Internet of Things is, right? I mean, Drew, you have tons of them. Like you have the Nest thermostat. Do you have the?
Oh my gosh, I got Alexa for Christmas. I have LifeX bulbs. I have. Yeah. So, I've got a full set. I just ordered a 6-pack more of bulbs. Yes, I'm obsessed with the Internet of Things.
Yeah. So the Internet of Things is essentially anything that you can control from your phone via the internet, which soon is going to be Drew's entire house.
I'm hoping.
So this book is kind of about that, where it explains to you common technologies that we see in our lives. So oddly enough, the Alexa is mentioned in here. The Nest is in there. The first, like, I swear, when you say Internet of Things, I've been around this world way too long, because the first thing that ever came up with Internet of Things was you could have an internet-connected coffee maker, right? So
that's right.
What they did was, instead of actually telling you what they do is they say, so yeah, that coffee maker, it's actually brewed by a dragon that's sitting under it, and just keeping it warm and stuff. Or Alexa, there's a little person in the tube that kind of answers your commands when you tell her to do things.
So it's like a fantastical, magical set of, like, here's how you can pretend that it works.
Yeah. So like when you're running and your Fitbit, it's really a alien that's following you and counting your steps. And just nice. Just things like that. And what's great about it, and your kids probably do this too, is when you explain that, it's the one word that you sometimes hate hearing, right? Why? So
everything is why.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah, what's great about this is the pages actually have NFC tags on them, so near field communication tags. I don't know if the iPhone has an NFC reader. It probably does now.
I think in the 6 or 6S they picked it up. Yep.
But so most Android phones, and I'm assuming that most of the Android or the newer iPhones have them. And what you can do is you can put your phone on top of that tag, and it will load up. I think it's either an app or a web page that will actually dive further into the content, still using some of this art and stuff that you see in the book, and we'll actually start. And depending on how you decide on how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go, you may go from this to actually explaining to them how it actually works via the app or the website. And what's great about it is they promise as the technologies evolve, they're going to keep that app side updated so it has the most relevant information.
Excellent.
So you can use it almost as this hidden learning tool
Right.
with that. And I love the NFC idea. I love the art style that they used in this book. And I just loved everything about it. It was a smart way of kind of teaching your kids how things work.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they have the ability to kind of say, here's at the 5-year-old level explanation, right? The dragons and the pots and the people living in the pipe. But if there was a way, like you said, like, can you dig deeper and actually say, like, this is Bluetooth and it's gonna, like, I guess, do they get to a point where I can hand it to a 10-year-old and go, no, this is really how it works and this is how you would code for it?
I think it might. And what's great about it is she's an engineer. That the lady who wrote this book, she's an engineer, so I'm assuming that it's going to get to that point, which is awesome.
And that's a great place to grow into.
Yeah, and IBM CEO loves this book idea because that's like her mentor and stuff too. So it's actually somebody, I love it. The art style's cool, everything's cool. Could you see you getting this for your kids?
I think so, especially if I knew that it was going to hit all the ages of my kids, so that it would be really entertaining, fun nighttime story for one, and another one could explore with the NFC and really like learn some things about the Internet of Things.
Yeah. So
love it.
Yeah, this one's definitely a back for me. I'm looking at the tier levels. Maybe I should be like crazy and get the $150 one. That comes with like 5 books. I have a lot of my friends are becoming parents soon, so yeah, sure, why not? I'll be I'll be the cool uncle that gets them all the toys. Sure, why?
The question is, do you get a is there an exclusive level, right? You get 5 books that are all personally signed, or you get to become the alien that chases the Fitbits. Like that would be the one that would get you in.
Hey, I could pay $5,000 and I can meet the author.
See, sold.
And I'd have to find. Hey, we could have her visit your classroom because this rewards includes a visit from Lisa to any classroom in the continental United States and a book for every child.
I could have her come read to my kids, my college kids.
They'd probably enjoy it. They're like, I don't have to read the textbooks. All right, so on to our next project, which is speaking of college kids, they do this a lot, right? They go to bars, they socialize and stuff.
They way more than I do.
Well, you might actually have this problem too. So, because I know you enjoy going to the soda bar, right, Fizz?
Oh man, I love soda.
And the problem is all the containers all look the same, right?
They do. And so I had a party at my house for my 40th birthday party.
I wanted to go so bad. If it wasn't like in the middle of the week, I so would have gone.
It was totally the middle of the week. It was on my birthday. So when I turned 40, I had the Fizz truck park in my driveway and serve drinks for 2.5 hours. And so my house was full of Fizz cups everywhere. I probably spent $200 on soda, and it was awesome. But yes, I had to keep looking at things and being like, is that one mine? Wait, this one's not big enough to be mine. Is that one mine? Hey, that's blue. Where's mine? Yep.
Yeah. By the way, Drew's lying about his age. He just turned 18.
It's right. Can you see this baby face?
Anyway, so our next project could have solved this problem, right?
Possibly. So there's some good things I love about this project and some things that I'm like, okay, guys, I think you missed it here. It's an Indiegogo project called the Ebros, the Technological Social Glass. And so this is one of those projects that you just add Bluetooth. Wondering what to do on Kickstarter or Indiegogo? Just add Bluetooth. And so this social glass is something that allows you to set the color of your glass using your smartphone. It's a Bluetooth-enabled cup or plastic cup that looks like a tumbler, or it could look like a wine glass, or something you pick up at the bar. But it is a very cool way that you can change the color of your drink. You can set it to one color. You can set it to pulsate from one color to 2 colors, and I have other issues with the project itself, but for me, I love the idea of having just an app-enabled cup. Like I said, I have LifeX bulbs that I can just say to Alexa, turn on movie lights, and she does it. And I can say, Alexa, turn on bright lights, and she does it. So I would love to have a cup that I could just control and be like, I'm feeling pretty green right now. Or like their problem that they're solving is like, don't get your cups mixed up. If you're going to have a party at your house and you don't want people to kind of drink from each other's glasses, or they don't drink because they're not sure if it's their glass or not, just choose. You get to choose your color, and then nobody will drink from your stuff. I like the idea, but I think for me, I like the idea of having a glass that lights up with colors. Like the fun of like, ooh, LED cups is more like, that's where I'm like, neat. I'd buy that for $30. That would just be a cool party trick. Where Ebros has gone with this, and this is probably where I jump off the train, and this is why it's only a track for me, because I honestly don't think I'll be participating in this one. I'll watch where they go, but where they jump, they go off the rails, in my opinion, is they try to really push this entire campaign into a social thing. Like they talk about how if you want to have your cup, you will be able to go to an app and find bars or pubs nearby that are using the Ebros setup that also has their own cups. And if you take your cup to their bar, you could get a discount on your drink. So it's like BYOC. Bring your own cup. And so it becomes like this kind of social aspect to things that it really feels forced to me. It feels like they said, hey, this is really cool. You know what we can do? We can put LED and lights and stuff inside of a cup and it'll light up. And somebody went, yeah, but why would you want to do that? Oh, I know. And then somebody else said, no, you guys, that's not enough. That's not enough. What else? Let's make it bigger. Okay, let's make a whole community out of that, drink from cups. If people drink together, why not make a whole community around this? And so then you get the app, and then you can find the pub that uses that stuff. And then the pubs can decide if they give you a discount or not. And then you can be an Ebros friend or an Ebros point. Anyway, it just feels like to me it was just far too convoluted. Stick with what's good. As a product manager, I say, you had it. You had it with a light up cup, $30. Sell them, because they're fun and neat. You shoot a QR code, you download the app, and you can change out the colors. So I think they went too far for one. But I did not mention it's all self-contained, so it's totally dishwasher safe. It looks like glass; it just doesn't break. It's totally plastic. It's a nice durable plastic. You wash it in the dishwasher. Everything is self-contained, and it charges with a Qi charger, wireless charger. So when you buy one, you get a wireless charger that goes with it. You can back it. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I wish they would have mentioned more, is that it does wireless charging. I mean,
cool.
if I was doing that project, I'd be like, yeah, you don't have to worry about the electronics being ruined and stuff, but they pushed that social aspect a little too much.
It was really heavy on the social.
Yeah.
When the Qi charging is like dang cool. It's like, okay, so this really is dishwasher safe. Great. I'm gonna wash this in the dishwasher.
Yeah, because I mean, we have that, I have that false hope of that if I eventually back one of these projects, I'll find Mrs. Right. I don't think I'm gonna find Mrs. Right with Ebros, right?
No.
Like, because watch 10 years from now, like how did you guys meet? Oh, we were cup buddies. Cup buddies.
Cup buddies. We both chose pink when we had our cups together. No, the other sad thing, and I think it's almost borderline sack. Like I just feel like the execution of the project, again, it's overly convoluted, and they have 4 founders. Like they list them, they show pictures of 4 founders. And they only have 2 backers, one of which is only like a $12, hey, we'll send you a sticker level. And then one is at that 1 cup level. And that to me is kind of like they didn't do a whole lot of market research or push this. It's kind of been I don't know. Somebody's got too many yes men. Yeah, it's a good idea. Make it go.
Yeah, and it's a little expensive for the U.S. because these guys are in Italy.
Yeah. Single cup. If you want to get to the single cup level, $67 gets you a single cup and a sticker.
And that's mostly probably shipping.
I'm borderline between sack and track on this one, which I never do. I love lights. I love lights and Bluetooth, but I just think they missed the boat on the project side of things. Sad.
Yeah. So this one's a track for me too, just because like, if they wanted that social aspect, they needed to appeal more to bars, and their video seems to be appealing more to the people using the glasses, which is like,
yep.
Okay. You know,
Yep.
I mean, I when I go to the bar, I don't expect to bring my own glass. So
That to me seemed a little weird, and I know I don't go, over in Europe. Like I've never been to bars in Europe, so I don't know if that's normal. But yeah,
no,
it
that's
does
not normal
seem
in Europe either.
carrying around a cup to be like, I'm going to the bar, let me grab my cup. You do that at work, right? You take your coffee mug.
Yeah.
You don't do that when you're going to the bar.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So now we've gotten to the bar. Now we'll go back to your kids,
Okay,
who
back to
are not
kids.
going to the bar. But do you?
Yeah, right. Please no. Go. Okay. You make gray hairs. I can't even think about it.
But so do your kids have a playhouse or anything like that, or
Let's
have
see.
they asked for one?
They always ask for them. I had one once from IKEA that was a really cheap one that was like the dome pop up bear or something I could crawl in and out of, but I had to hide it. It got pulled out so often I had to hide it because I would just be like, it was just constantly out. A 5-year-old just pull it out every day. So yeah.
All right. So
they had one, but I hid it.
you may or may not like this then. So the problem with a lot of the playhouses and stuff are that they take up a lot of space, right? And
Yes.
if they get bored with it, it's just there, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep. You got to find a place. Luckily, this one went flat, so I can hide it behind my dresser. Don't tell them. But yes, it takes up a lot of space.
yeah. So this is actually similar to that IKEA, except a little bit bigger. It is called the Accordion Playhouse, and it is a playhouse that you can actually unfold and play with, and then when you're done, you just fold it back up, Velcro it, and you can lay it against the wall and save some space.
What is it made out of? Is it paper?
So it is actually made out of what they call PET felt. So it's kind of like air filter paper, and they purposely did that because then it would cause less dust. Because you know as you start playing with this, the dust is going to start accumulating and stuff. You can use this so it keeps less dust out. I like how compact it gets, and it takes 10 seconds or so to set up, and doesn't require an adult to set up, which is I think the great part. I mean, because you could be busy grading papers all the time, and last thing you want to do is set up a playhouse for your kid, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I specifically got Christmas gifts this year that were like, you can do this without me. I have several of those. It was like, you have fun. You don't need me. This is a really neat, interesting idea.
Yeah, I love how just like how nice it folds up and packs up, and I like the designs they put on it. They even made it so, say you have, your kids have friends and stuff, you can actually attach more than one together in different configurations. So you can see like you can do a super long tunnel, you can do like a plus sign, or even like combine them to be like a half cylinder, which I think is kind of cool.
Right, and they're probably pretty light if you're using them for.
Yeah, and the way you connect them is you take off one side and there's like Velcro or something, and you just attach them together. So it's not like a jerry rig thing too. They're pretty solid and stuck together. And the other nice thing about this, because I've seen those playhouses, there's like no windows or lighting in them, right? So
right. It's always,
since they're using this fabric, the light actually kind of goes through, and you don't have to have lights in there or anything. So
almost like the walls light up.
Yeah. That's why I really like it. And this one so on the video I noticed they put you can fit a whole person if you fit two of these together. But I just love the simplicity of it, the felt that they use, and just like it just seems so simple. And especially if you're living in a house that doesn't have a lot of room, you can just when your kid wants to play, they can unfold it themselves, and when they're done, they just fold it back up, and away you go.
Wow, I'm really interested in this, and I want to know how much their tier is for getting one of these as a reward.
Let's see, their early single pack is $119. $109.
So it's quite a bit more than like an IKEA setup, which you can get for like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
But
so $100 is the cheapest.
It looks more durable, honestly.
Yeah. And it's 28 inches by 40 inches by 44 inches long, so that's about 3-4 feet, 4 feet long, and so it's a pretty big playhouse for for your kids and stuff. And I just loved how simple it is, and I loved how nice it looks too. So it doesn't look like it's just because I've seen some of these like solutions that I'm like, I don't know if a kid would want to be in that.
Right. This looks super easy and super clean idea.
I love
Love
how
the
everybody in
accordion.
the chat room is like, "Can I get this as a tent?"
Right. You just drive out, park, and put them, set it up. You're inside. That's amazing. The Accordion Playhouse.
Yeah. And they have a stretch goal. If they get $500,000, they are going to make it 10% expand, even 10% even wider. They actually did win the IDEA 2014 Gold Award for their design. And here's a picture of the team actually standing next to it, so you can see how big it is. That's a fairly big playhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is good.
So yeah, this one's definitely a back for me, Drew. Are you
Yeah.
maybe not? I
No,
don't know.
it's
Like
back for me. And
this,
what gives me confidence is that they've got some traction. They've got another almost 3 weeks left to go. They've got 80 backers. They've hit their halfway point, and so they have an uphill battle still. But of the projects we looked at tonight, these guys have made some grounds. Like they are nearly there already. So it's a back for me as well. I love the idea.
yeah, I love that idea. And I promise, guys, I'm not like baby hungry or anything. It just happened that both products I picked tonight were kid related.
I don't even know what to say, guys. I don't even know. There's a chance. There's a chance that he is baby hungry. Because there really is a lot of baby projects going on here. I'm surprised we didn't do like a Bluetooth bottle, something, Bluetooth breastfeeding robot or something. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go look at some of the other sites for that. Anyway, so now it is time for our sack of the week.
This one just makes me sad.
So yeah, okay. So full disclaimer, Drew and I have been podcasting and streaming for many a year now.
Yeah, a decade.
Yeah, and this is not any personal attack against the guy. It's just this is not the greatest planned out project. And I actually and
we're
this
consultants. We can do this.
yeah, and this is actually one out of many I picked out that caught my eye, but they all had a similar theme. And so this is called Zach and Joe's podcast. So this is how they describe it. We are starting a podcast that is original, entertaining, and funny because we are all those things. It all starts with some equipment. So
Right.
So the problem with all these projects that I saw similar to this is that's all the information we get about your project. You know, there was a movie that did this. There was a couple other like shows. They're like, oh, we have this great idea. We want to put it together, but we need money. But they don't tell you what the idea is.
Which I think a lot of people honestly probably have this idea of like, okay, I can't like give my secret sauce. I know this is gonna be good. I know people are gonna listen. Or it's a great movie. But if I tell people what it is or explain the plot, I give it away. But at some level, you have to give people something to believe in. And if any investor, which this is, you have to say, here's why you care. Here's why you want to make this good is because it is this. You can't just put something under a sheet and be like, underneath that sheet's my magic idea. Give me money to make it happen.
Yeah. Imagine going to like a Hollywood producer and telling him this. The guy would laugh in your face.
Oh, yeah, right? I can tell you. You can't read the script. There is no script. But I think you're going to love this idea.
Just give me the money first. And like that is an inherent problem because we're like, okay. And especially if you're making a media related thing. So if you're doing music, movie, podcasts, any kind of like show where it's going to be consumed. I mean, you look at the Internet of Mysterious Things. She at least gave you samples of what the pages and stuff would look like in her project.
Oh yeah.
But
you get a good feel for it.
When you don't even give a sample of that, people aren't going to want to back your project because they don't know what they're going to get. And then the other thing is, it's a pet peeve of mine when people say, I want to start a podcast, but I don't have the equipment. And then I look at them, it's like, do you have an iPhone in your pocket? Yes.
Right.
Well, you can start a podcast.
You've got everything you need. Right. Exactly. And I think that's a lot of people will wait until they get the good gear. Prove to yourself and prove to an audience that you can be consistent first, then grow with your quality, because your 5, 10, 15 followers are going to be really like with you. And then as you improve in the gear and you make better stuff, then they'll be like, yep, I was there at the beginning, rather than waiting to be like, I finally got the $300 I needed to buy the greatest mic. Don't wait. Just do it.
I mean, this mic I'm using is fairly expensive, but it took me probably 6, 7 years until I actually got it. Um,
Right?
because
I,
yeah, I'll tell
what's
you,
mine?
yeah, I'll tell you the first piece of gear I ever used was just my laptop. The built-in webcam looked garbage, and the built-in microphone, which did
Yep.
not sound that great because you could hear the fan on in the background. But
But you learn
that's
so
yeah,
much, right?
yeah,
During that element of like I'm using only my basic stuff, you learn so much that you learn to do a good show based on your
yeah,
content, and the quality is something that can come in as you can afford it. And also this somebody mentioned in chat, like this should be maybe a GoFundMe or a Patreon. It doesn't seem like a very
yeah.
solid Kickstarter to say, hey, my buddy and I are pretty entertaining. I think we're gonna start a show, but you got to pay for the mics. What do I get out of
Yeah,
that? Like
and this is their cred too. Is like, and we have developed a chemistry that can only be created from years of teasing and inside jokes.
that's not going to play well. That's not going to play well at all.
So you guys think each other are funny, but has anybody else told you guys are funny? Like, I didn't
Right?
realize you and I were that funny until somebody else mentioned it. You know,
We're funny together.
I thought we were just goofing off, but like I don't think anybody else thinks we're funny.
We're semi entertaining. We've had some good laughs on this show, but really we have content, right? People that are coming and listening are listening because they want to know how to have better projects, how to have more success.
Yeah, I'm telling you, content is where you want to start, and then everything else is really peripheral stuff. Because we live in a world where if you have a phone, you have better equipment than I had when I started out doing any of this.
Yep. And all you gotta have is drive. I tell my students all the time, you just got to get started somewhere and make it happen. You just go for it. Don't give yourself excuses like I need better equipment or I need this or I need that. So yes.
That is why it's the sack of the week. Is when you do make these projects, please add something of substance to it. I mean,
give us a pilot episode. Give us something we can listen to that we can go, yes, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, like a 1 minute intro or something to show us the banter between you guys and like how funny it is. That would be more than enough.
There's not even a video for this one. It's just a straight image of two guys in a suit.
Yeah, and
I've one of the weddings.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like music ones, like help me get my first album down, and then there's no links to any of their music, and I'm like, I don't even know what kind of music this is. It's like I could be backing, yodeling music and not even know it at that point.
Right?
So I'm not gonna do it.
Not done right. There are other places for this, and like you said, they're missing elements if they wanted to do it here. Sad.
Yep. All right. What also is sad is that is the end of this episode, unfortunately.
Oh, come on.
But it's a great way to kick off 2017 with one of our regular shows. So if you guys have suggestions for projects, sacks of the weeks, or kick shouts, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net. Or leave it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KickCast. Or you can tweet at Night20 for that beautiful man over there, at KTData for myself, or at KickCast for the show. We'll check all of them. And
oh, yes.
Oddly, you'll be on the show, which is awesome. So, Drew, do you got anything to plug before we go?
I'll plug two quick things tonight. One is, look what I made. It's my brick case with my Vidpressa logo on it. I made that today. So it looks really good. I had to pull it off my computer so you could see it, but it's kind of fun. So that goes there.
I'm kind of jelly. Randall must be jelly too.
He thought it was pretty cool. It's his company. And I ordered their brick tiles, so I've got to make a whole bunch of I'm making door signs for all of my studios at work that'll be brick book style. But the other thing I was going to shout out is that my sweet 10-year-old daughter has a YouTube channel. It is Lego Bean. And her avatar is a green yin yang. Well, there's a kid at school that's been giving her grief because she only has 2 videos and she only had 3 or 4 subscribers, and he's been giving her grief every day and telling her how dumb it is that she only has a handful of subscribers.
Don't tell me who that kid is, or
I know, right?
I'm not even her dad, and I want to beat up this kid.
And so there's my shout out for the night. If you get a chance, listeners, jump over to YouTube, find Lego Bean with the yin yang, and subscribe for a little while. We'll show this little punk how to grow a community.
And she makes good videos too. That's the thing.
She needs to make more. And I would love to get her to make more. But I felt like, I gave her lecture after lecture, and I was like, forget them. You're always gonna have haters. And then after we talked about that, I was like, I'll do what I can. We'll boost those numbers, and you do the same. So she'll be making some more videos, but that's my shout outs for the night.
Boom, subscribed. Make sure you guys go do that. That's Lego Bean.
Oh, you saw it. That's it.
Yeah,
Lego Bean.
Yeah. Ooh, and she's playing Minecraft. Yeah.
She does. She needs to do more, but
I feel like 2017 is my year where one of my goals is to do more collaboration and stuff. Maybe we should do something.
you should do. Yes. Yep. I love this idea. Thanks.
Right. Yeah. All right. Our next episode is going to be, you'd think I'd remember to do this, is the 31st of January.
Oh, we got one more in January.
Yeah,
Sweet.
one more in January before Groundhog Day. So make sure you guys come and watch live because we always enjoy the chat room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. You guys rock. We have returned home to my growing grounds of Twitch. Used to be Justin TV. So if you guys are on Twitch, stop by the channel, twitch.tv/Ktdata. That's where all the Ktdata net shows will be broadcast from now on. So
I'm excited about that. That's fantastic news.
Yep. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.